Hi, how are you? It's Tuesday, and you have a couple things due today. You have your capstone 2 proposal and your course plan. And I think I mentioned it before when I was doing the kind of tour of the last few weeks. But it's a good idea just to submit your course plan wherever you are in the program. It just allows me to double check and make sure that everybody is on track. So, just I'll give you comments and make sure you take a look at it. You'll get full points if you turn it in, but just make sure, as I think I mentioned before, our courses are only offered once a year except for the capstones, and so it's important that you know when you're taking the classes so that you're not waiting a whole year to take another class or something like that. So, and it sounds like many of you are working hard on those fieldwork investigations, which is great. They're due next week. We've got that next week, and then the short week after that, the half week, I guess, of our 7.5 week sessions is just your reflection and filing that IPOS. And again, that's more of an administrative thing, so if you have any questions about that, you'll want to contact Bobette. But that information is located there at the assignment. And the reflection is just, kind of just your overall feelings about the course, how the assignments helped you or didn't help you. I want to hear that too. I always look at those reflections as well at the end of the semester, and make those adjustments like I did before in terms of like a resume or a professional portfolio, those types of things. So I do appreciate your utmost honesty with those, and do take your feedback and comments into account when planning additional courses. So thank you for that. Otherwise, I hope you're doing well. I've got, let's see, where is it? Here it is. This beautiful picture. I didn't take it, but someone else did. And this is just something I recently went to a compassion fatigue workshop. And this is because I'm teaching an Embracing Empathy course, and my colleagues are teaching a Cultivating Compassion undergraduate course, and we're on this team developing these courses, developing materials for them. Also, we're going to be moving into a different phase of making and creating materials for medical classes, students. And so anyway, one of the points about compassion fatigue, I went to the workshop to get some information about it, because again, we think it's an important topic, especially for people who are caregivers or in caregiving professions such as nursing, social work, and many of you, I'm sure, who are working with disadvantaged youth or elderly and things like that. But it's so important one of the big takeaways is that so you don't get burnt out and you suffer long-term effects of caring for others, and that compassion for others is to find those moments of joy each day in your life. And you can think, I don't have time for joy. I'm too busy, or I just want to ruminate on these things. But it's so good for us to be able to step back, especially, we talked about those triggers of stress, and when you feel stress, to just take that step back, take that time, find those things that give you joy. For some, it's maybe, it's listening to music, dancing around your house for a little while, calling a friend, texting a friend, whatever it is that can bring you joy. And I like to hike. That my kind of mental getaway is always hiking, and these are out. They're kind of actually at the end of the season right now. They start blooming in the desert in about March, kind of late March, early April, and it kind of depends on where they are situated on the mountain. Sometimes if they're in direct sun, they're all gone, so there are no more blooms or flowers, but if they're a little more shaded, then I'll still see some. But this is generally what they look like. They only last for a little bit, but they're just so beautiful to look at and to enjoy. So just something to remind you to take pause. I know you're busy people, busy lives with family and work and school and volunteering and the many other things that you do. So just make sure you take some time for yourself, for some self-compassion, and do those things you enjoy as well. Thanks. Happy Tuesday.